वनचारी राधा माधवा सुंदरी नारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरदारी सोनानंदना व्रजजनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजजनरञ्जना श्रीरामनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। Till what time class goes? Yeah, till 5. We go for 1 hour actually. This is not working. This one. Yeah, 4:19. No, till 5 or 5:20. 1 hour. 5:50. 5:50 till. Prabhu is asking till what time you get class. 5 or you can go beyond 5. You had 5. Okay, 5. Yeah, you can stick to 1 hour. You can stick to 1 hour. 5:50. Correct.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvannmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare. Take one verse from the Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudire. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavatyuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiti. Can we recite this sloka which is on the board? Krishna prasada sumukham sprihaniya dhama. Nehavaloka kalaya hridi samsprishantam. Yame pratavurasi shobhitaya shriyasvash. Chudamanim subhagayan tamivatma dishnyam. Translation purpose by His Divine Grace is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Lord is the reservoir of all pleasure. His auspicious presence is meant for everyone's benediction, and His affectionate smiling and glancing touch the core of the heart. The Lord's beautiful bodily color is blackish, and His broad chest is the resting place of the goddess of fortune, who glorifies the entire spiritual world, the summit of all heavenly planets. Thus it appeared that the Lord was personally spreading the beauty and good fortune of the spiritual world. The context of this first shloka is, this is Vaikuntha planet. The 4 Kumaras are arriving at the door of Vaikuntha. They are stopped by the servants of Lord Vishnu. And then there is an altercation between the two. And then Lord Vishnu is arriving there in the scene. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada came. When the Lord came, He was pleased with everyone. Therefore, it is stated here, Krishna Prasada Samukha. The Lord knew that even the offensive doormen were His pure devotees, although by chance they committed an offense at the feet of other devotees. To commit an offense against a devotee is very dangerous in devotional service. Lord Chaitanya therefore said that an offense to the devotee is just like a mad elephant run loose. When a mad elephant enters a garden, it tramples all the plants. Similarly, an offense unto the feet of a pure devotee murders one's position in devotional service. On the part of the Lord, there was no offended mood, because He does not accept any offense created by His sincere devotee. But a devotee should be very cautious of committing offenses at the feet of another devotee. The Lord being equal to all, and being especially inclined to his devotee, looked as mercifully at the offenders as at the offended. This attitude of the Lord was due to his unlimited quantity of transcendental qualities. His cheerful attitude towards the devotees was so pleasing and heart-touching that his very smile was attractive for them. That attraction was glorious, not only for all the higher planets of this material world, but beyond for the spiritual world also. Generally, a human being has no idea of what the constitutional position is in the higher material planets, which are far better constituted in regard to all paraphernalia. Yet the Vaikuntha planet is so pleasing and so celestial that it is compared to the middle jewel or locket in a necklace of jewels. In this verse, the words Prahiniya Dhamma indicate that the Lord is a reservoir of all pleasure because he has all the transcendental qualities. Although only some of these are aspired for by persons who hanker after the pleasure of merging in the impersonal Brahman. There are other aspirants who want to associate with the Lord personally as his servants. The Lord is so kind that he gives shelter to the impersonalists in his impersonal Brahman effulgence, whereas he gives shelter to the devotees in his personal abodes known as Vaikuntha Lokas. He is especially inclined to his devotee. He touches the core of the heart of the devotee simply by smiling and glancing over him. The Lord is always served in Vaikuntha Loka by many hundreds and thousands of gods of fortune, as stated by the Brahma Samhita, Lakshmi Sahasra Shatasambhrava Sevimanam. In the material world, one is glorified if he is favored even by a pinch of goddess of fortune. So you can simply imagine how glorified is the kingdom of God in the spiritual world, where many hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune engage in the direct service of the Lord. Another feature of this verse is that it openly declares where the Vaikuntha Lokas are situated. They are situated as the summit of all heavenly planets, which are above the sun globe at the upper limit of the universe and are known as Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. The spiritual world is situated beyond the universe. And therefore, it is stated here that the spiritual world Vaikuntha Loka is the summit of all planetary systems. So I'm very happy to be here at Connecticut because of my connection to His Grace Pyare Mohan from Boston. So I remember visiting his house last time. He and his good wife, the way they have been taking care of the deities and preaching to the devotees here, daily studying the Srimad Bhagavatam. So I learned many wonderful things from him. And I come to Boston every year, twice I come during April, May, and September, October. After the COVID opening, I'm again visiting now. So the verse which I am talking today from the Srimad Bhagavatam is from the Kingdom of God chapter, where the two servants of Lord Vishnu are standing at the entrance to Vaikuntha. And the four Kumaras, small boys, but they look like small boys, but they are very advanced yogis in the spiritual advancement. So they are arriving at the door of Vaikuntha. And they want to go in to see the Lord, but they are stopped by the doorkeepers. Or not. So there is an altercation between the two. And seeing that there is some disturbance at the entrance to Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu arrives there. Not alone, he comes along with the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, and his servants are holding an umbrella above his head and as a sign of respect. And when Lord arrives at the door, both the Lord's servants and the guests, the Kumaras, both are watching the Lord. That is the context here. So this is a very special verse because you will see that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, his commentary is quoted by Srila Prabhupada in some of these purports, you will see. This one scene of two parties meeting at the door and Lord Vishnu coming has immense lessons for our life, personal life, as a devotee, to learn from. Therefore, I took this verse. Now, imagine when you are dealing with somebody who is very close to you, like the servants of Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu felt that the servants of Vishnu could have treated the guests little properly when 4 Kumaras came. At the same time, Lord Vishnu dealt with his servants and the 4 Kumaras in a very special way, which is what is explained in these verses. Krishna prasada sumukam sprahaniya dama premavaloka kalaya hridi samsparashantam. That's a verse. It says that when he arrived at the door, the Lord appeared so cheerful and jubilant and very happy when both the parties looked at him. He was bluish in complexion. He had 4 arms. He was holding the disc and the mace and the flower and the conch in his hands. He was wearing a dhoti, which was golden in complexion. And he was wearing beautiful jewelry and everything. So when both of them looked at the Lord, they wanted to know, is Lord displeased with me or not? The servants of the Lord felt, oh, alas, we have disturbed our master. We have made him come to the door. Probably it was not appropriate on our part to create a disturbance. Like that they felt. The visiting guests, the Kumaras, they felt that we have committed a big blunder. You know what did they feel as blunder? They had told these 2 servants that your behavior is not matching the mood of your master. Bhagavat Pratikulya Shila, they said. Your Lord Vishnu, he is always smiling. But you 2 fellows, doorkeepers, you became upset with us. Your eyes were bloodshot, your nose was stout, and you were in an angry disposition. So your behavior doesn't befit your master. And in Vaikuntha, no one behaves like this. Since you behaved like that, you better go to the material world for some 3 lifetimes. And then you go to that world where people indulge in lust, anger, and greed. And there you get some lessons for reformation and come back to the spiritual world. Like that, the Kumaras gave them a curse. When Lord came there to the door, Kumaras felt maybe we spelled out a curse which was not suitable, which is probably a big punishment. Like that they felt. And so when Lord came, how did Lord deal with them? In corporate terms, they call as an internal customer, external customer, they call. Somebody working with you in your own circle, inside circle, is called internal customer. And somebody visiting you from outside is called external customer. So generally, we tend to respect the external customer more, and we may taunt the internal customers, due to which our internal cohesion in our community can be affected sometimes. In those days, way back in 1991, 92, His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrita Maharaj was preparing one Vaishnava etiquette book in Chowpatty temple. So I was his stenographer. He would dictate and I would put it down in typing. And he was preparing this booklet. So he told me to write one statement. The visitors to the temple should be very attentively cared for and made to feel comfortable. So he wrote. So I wrote that. Then after that, many other things he had said. So when I went for editing and proofreading, checking with him, he told me to add one more sentence. He told me, the regular devotees who are a part of the community should also be welcomed. And they also should be taken care of. Like that, he told me to add that sentence later on. And then he was telling me that sometimes we feel that we only care for the newcomers and we don't care for the older devotees. So they also should be cared. So he added that. So sometimes there's a challenge. We presume that somebody is in my inner circle. I have anyway intimate relationship. Even if I chastise, it will be all right. We think like that. And then somebody is a newcomer, we should treat them very warmly. We feel like that. Therefore, from this particular episode, we are going to learn some 3-4 very valuable lessons today. When Lord Vishnu arrived at the door, he looked at the guests, Kumaras, and smiled at them. When he smiled at them, immediately Jai Vijay thought that Lord is angry with us. Because he's smiling at whom? Smiling at the other party, the four Kumaras. He's not smiling at us. They thought Lord is, maybe he's upset with us by our behavior. We didn't receive the guest properly, like that. Then Lord turned to Jai Vijay and smiled at them also. Then the four Kumaras had thought, because Lord is smiling at us, he's happy with us. Then when he smiled at Jai Vijay, then they were confused. Who is he happy with? Who is he disturbed with? They could not ascertain properly. And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, Lord was pleased with the offenders and the offended, like the Prabhupada writes. This is a very difficult thing. In conflict resolution, sometimes in any community, when we do, one party feels that we are not heard well. The preference was given to the other party, and the mediator has believed in the statements of the other party. They did not hear us well. Like that one party always feels, generally, anywhere in the world you go. They feel like as if they are a victim. They feel like that. So, but here the Lord wanted to make both of them feel comfortable. He didn't want any party to feel a victim. So he smiled at Kumaras and he smiled at Jai Vijay, his own servants. And his smile was not purposeless or meaningless. It had a very deep meaning. When Lord smiled at the Kumaras, the Lord wanted to teach his two servants how you should treat these Kumaras. So Lord was speaking to Kumaras also. You will see in the same chapter. Lord spoke many things to Kumaras which were paid attention by Jai Vijay. Lord told the Kumaras that, oh Kumaras, you are Brahmanas of the highest order. Brahmanas means you are teachers, teachers of spiritual education. And you are so glorious that even I take your dust on my head, on my crown, he said. And all the Kumaras are amazed. Lord says, he takes our dust. Generally, we take his dust from his feet on our head. And Lord also said, goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, the whole world is after her because everybody is thinking, let more and more wealth come to me. But she is always thinking of serving me at my lotus feet. Always she wants to massage my feet. Why? Because I have taken the dust of Brahmanas like you on my head. Therefore, she has so much attraction for me. Like that the Lord said. And the Lord also said, many Brahmins, they perform Vedic sacrifices where they offer ghee and grains, silk and all those things in the Vedic sacrificial fire. And the Vedic sacrificial fire is called tongue of Vishnu. And the Yajna Kund is called as mouth of Vishnu. And when you offer in that, it is carried by Agni Deva to Lord Vishnu. In fact, when we do such sacrifices, it is said it is carried to the different devatas and to ultimately to Lord Vishnu in a shape and form that they'll be able to receive. So Lord said, generally people offer in the Vedic sacrifice, but I am more pleased when people offer prasadam to the mouth of great Brahmanas like you. I am more pleased with them if they offer you prasad in your mouth than when they offer me sacrificial ghee in my Vedic sacrifices. Again, the Brahmanas are amazed. Lord is praising us. Lord is glorifying us so much. The Lord said one more statement. If anyone is chastised by a Brahmana, one should stand in front of the Brahmana with folded palms, with a smiling face, with an attentive ear. One should hear the chastisement in a mood that I wish to learn from this teacher, from this Brahman, and apply it in my life. His anger is also one form of love. Like that, one should hear from Brahmanas like you. I know that you chastised Jai Vijay, my doorkeepers, for their good, and you gave them a punishment, which is also justified. They deserve it. They need to learn from you. So when you chastise them, they should actually hear it from you with a very patient disposition. So when Lord said like this, immediately Kumaras became very humbled, completely humble. They felt Lord has praised us so much. These praises don't seem to be true because we are devotees of the Lord. Lord is great. We are small. We bow down to him. How does he take our dust? They were confused. But they became very calm, cool, and calm and cool and silent. And also, heart of hearts, they felt we have excessively punished Jaya Vijay. Like that they felt. So Lord wanted to teach Jaya Vijay, his servants, that when you, like we used to have one life member who come to Pune. So he used to be a very angry man. So once he came in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, and he asked our receptionist, where is the in charge for the life membership department? So he was one brahmachari in those days. He came. He said, I need a room. And the brahmachari said, sorry, we have only one room and that room is already occupied. There's no place for anybody. So then this life member became extremely angry. He said, I have a card. My mother has a card. My father has a card. My wife has a card. We all have totally 10 cards in our family. How can you not give even one room for us? So he got really very angry. So this fellow was trembling. He didn't know what to do. So he came running to me. Then he said, call the president. So I came. So then I asked him, sir, what time to what time you want? I asked him. He said, now it's 2 o'clock. I need it till 5 o'clock, he said. Then I told my assistant, you see, you have booked a room for another life member who is going to come at 8 o'clock at night. Why don't you give between 2 to 5? My assistant said, I have already put the bedding and everything neat and clean. This fellow will come and spoil it. And again, I will have to redo the work. I said, don't be lazy. See, he's so upset. Don't enrage a guest. He's a life member, a big man. Then immediately we took him to the room and he stayed. He was very happy. So then I was serving him prasadam. We had Rajabhog Prasad. I was serving him prasad and gave him juice and everything and cooled him down. So while eating prasad, he said, see, Radheshyamji, you should train your people like you. You are so submissive, so obedient, very nice. You should teach that fellow. I told him, how can this fellow treat you like this? I will remove him from this department, I said. And he said, no, don't do that. Your man is not such a bad man. Only thing is, he didn't give me the room. That's all I was upset. So he became cool down. So now how did he cool down? Because when you respect someone, they cool down. You will see that, especially when a person is angry, according to Shastra, when he's offered due respect, immediately he cools down. His head becomes cool. You will see that. And then afterwards, when his head gets cooled, when the intelligence returns back to him, he will be able to understand what you wish to say. Otherwise, that person cannot understand also what you're saying. Generally, when we become angry, intelligence says goodbye and goes away. The reason doesn't work. When a person is emotionally affected, the reason doesn't work at all. He cooled down. So another day he came. After 3 months, as my life department head saw him, he ran away. Immediately seeing him, he came running to my office and said, Prabhu, the same fellow has come again. I am afraid. So then I told him, find out what is the matter. No, he definitely will ask a room and room is not available. So then I went there and I asked him, he said, this time you want a room for 3 days. He wanted. And already room was booked. Then I told him, sir, please come with me. Although the life member room is booked, I still can make an alternative arrangement for you. So I took him to the rear end of the project. Backside, we have one bamboo house where some students stay there. There we have one square room we have. So I showed him the room. Sir, this is a private room and all others live in dormitory here. I opened the bamboo house room. It was full of made of bamboos only. Very simple. Like a poor man's hut. It's like that. So he looked up and down everything. Then he said, I will tell you in an hour, he said. Then he went out and then found out a lodge nearby the temple. And then he came back after an hour and told me, no, I will only come for the prasadam in the temple. I have found out a place to stay outside. And he was peaceful. He went away. So our department head was surprised. How without giving room, you made him happy? I said, I made him tell no to himself. If you say no, he'll get angry, isn't it? Instead of that, I showed him a place. So we didn't deny anything. We showed him a place. So in this world, Prabhupada says, when we deal with people, we need some amount of expertise. Dakshata, Prabhupada says that. Raghunath Das Goswami was dealing with, the person who was tax collector very expertly. So in this, we have to see if somebody is enraged, how to pacify them. So here the Lord saw that the 4 Kumaras who are visitors to Vaikuntha, they had become enraged by the behavior of Jaya Vijay. So they called, Lord, by his sweet behavior, by his smile and his sweet speech, by both, he cooled them down. And by his loving glance, 3 things. He lovingly glanced at them, he smiled at them, he spoke sweetly to them, pacified them. Pacified them to the point of making them feel that they are at fault. They could even look at their own fault, the 4 Kumaras. Now, why did he smile at Jaya Vijay? And Lord turned to Jaya Vijay and smiled. In his mind, what was going on? That is also explained. He thought, these 2 servants of mine have served me for millions of years. And one small mistake, circumstantially, they committed. Why should I make a big fuss about it? See, there are some circumstantial mistakes that people exhibit in this world. You will see that with somebody you have a very deep relationship for 5 years, 10 years, you know the family, both the families are good friends. Occasionally they spoke emotionally something strong to you. At one moment, see, an emotionally driven person should be seen like a drunkard. A drunkard speech cannot be taken seriously. Like one example I'll tell you. When Lord Ram was in Kishkinda, he helped one Sugriva, to become the king of Kishkinda. His wife was taken away by Vali. So Lord arranged for Sugriva's wife, Ruma, to be returned to Vali. So Lord did 2 things to him. Lord defeated Vali and arranged for Vali to give back Ruma back to Sugriva. Sugriva should be grateful, naturally. Not only that, Sugriva was made the next king also. He was coronated as the king. And after that, Sugriva was very pleased. He told Ram, Ram, you have done so much for me. I'm pleased with you. Now I will help you find out Sita. Don't worry. Ram said it is a rainy season now. It was the June, July season. There are heavy rains. Let the period of 4 months pass, which is called Chaturmas. After the 4 months are over, when the autumn season will come, then you can send your servants to find out Sita. And Sugriva said, as soon as the rainy season is over, I'll be here to help you out, he said. But then 4 months passed. After that, 20 more days passed, and Sugriva didn't turn up. And Lord Ram got the news that Sugriva has become intoxicated in his kingly post. He is enjoying with the female monkeys, and he's enjoying their music, enjoying their dance, enjoying nice eating and drinking liquor. And always his eyes are bloodshot, and he's lying in the bed. He doesn't know what is day, what is night. He's spending time in sense enjoyment. When Lord Ram heard this, immediately called Lakshman and said, Lakshman, you heard the news? Sugriva monkey, he has forgotten his duty. Look at him. Now, what do you think we should do? Lakshman was very angry. Lakshman said, I will at once go and finish the monkey and come back. He said, I'll kill him. Ram smiled and said, if you kill him, then how the work will happen? We have to find out Sita. Be patient. Don't lose your temper. Go to him, help him understand his duty. I am sure Sugriva is not ungrateful. He will surely do his duty, but he needs to be reminded. His behavior is only circumstantial, he said. Because in this world, in sense gratification, people tend to become blinded. Similarly, when one is emotionally hurt, again they become blinded. So these are circumstantial behavior. So of course, Lakshman went and woke up Sugriva and brought him to his senses. And then Sugriva fulfilled his duty after that. He came and met Ram and everything. But the point is, in this world, we should not take such occasional, emotionally driven, erratic anger arising from a devotee too seriously. We cannot take it seriously. If we take it seriously and we put a wall around ourselves, we will break our relationship with them. Actually, we have two choices. Either put a wall around yourself or build bridges to continue the relationship. Many people actually build a wall around themselves, and that is why people become islands in a community. So when Lord looked at Jai Vijay, he thought that Jai Vijay never committed a mistake. Now they have stopped this Kumaras from coming into my abode. Only once they have treated like that. This is a small thing, this can be forgiven. So Lord didn't take it very seriously about Jai Vijay's mistake. And therefore he looked at them and smiled at them also. Now the Lord told the Kumaras, you see, I have accepted these two fellows as my very dear servants and I have shown them affection as my servants. Therefore, I am strongly connected to them. They are strongly connected to me. If they do a mistake, then not only they are responsible, I am also responsible for that. And if you wish, I can lop off my two arms, like that the Lord said. To whom? To Kumaras. Because if a servant commits a mistake, the master also is held responsible. Like that he said. And also he said, a servant who acts independent of the master is like a leprosy on the body of the master. Like imagine if there is a leprosy, leprosy? There's some patches, white patches. That means he makes the master's face ugly. If a person is actually surrendered to a master, but he doesn't obey the master, he acts independent of the master. He is like a leprosy in the face of the master. He brings disgrace to the master. But because the master has given him shelter, he is also responsible. So I am also responsible. Not only they are responsible. So I can lop off my two arms. When Kumaras heard it, they cried. They said, my Lord, he is ready to lop off his two arms. But there's a secret meaning hidden in this. What is it? Lord wanted to say that these two fellows are my two arms. They are right hand and left hand for me. That was not understood by the four Kumaras. But Jai Vijay became very happy. How they became happy? Because Lord told the Kumaras, although you have cursed them to go to material world for three lifetimes, let them come back to my abode and stay with me in future. Like that he said. Let them be with me. Then Kumaras was surprised. Just now you said that they committed a mistake and you are ready with the punishment that we have meted out for them. How is it that you want them to again come back to your abode and live with you? It was actually mystical for them. They couldn't understand. But Jai Vijay decoded two things. Lord is saying, I can lop off my arms. That means he considers us his personal servants. And Lord wants us back in his abode. That means we are not bereft of service. Lord is going to give us the same service again. So they felt Lord did not disown us. Lord chastised us, but did not disown us. This is a very, very deep point it is. See, sometimes if you chastise somebody, for example, imagine I am chastised by my superior. I become angry. Actually, if you are chastised, that means the superior still has some faith that you are going to reform. Therefore, they chastise. If the superior feels that the subordinate will never reform, they will just neglect them or ignore them. So they felt very happy that we were not neglected, but Lord chastised us and accepted as his own. So they felt a strong sense of belonging to Lord Vishnu, like that. So in this way, Lord smiled at both of them. Prabhupada says, how could the Lord smile at both of them? Because Lord had an ocean of transcendental qualities, sweet qualities. He had patience, he had tolerance, he had forgiveness, he had humility, he had appreciation. So these kind of qualities are fine qualities which the Lord exhibits. And by hearing such pastimes in our life also, we will be able, at least it will brush us. Little bit of this, it will brush us if we develop admiration for the Lord's behavior. Lord is simultaneously teaching his servants how to deal with someone like the Kumaras. At the same time, he does not disown them also. So, as I told you, sometimes in the name of, like one time in one of our student centers, one senior manager, he told one of the residents, one of the resident senior devotee boys, he told, see, these new boys have come, 4 of them have come today. And yesterday night, gulab jamun is still there in the fridge. You take it out and give them all 4 each. We have more than 20 gulab jamuns left. These are 4 boys, give them 4 each, let them enjoy. They are totally new boys, first time they have come. And the senior devotee said, yes, I will do that. And then he was talking to the new boys, gave them mala, made them chant. And the new boys spent some about half an hour there. And then they were about to go, they left. So then the manager had gone out somewhere to purchase something. When he came back, he asked, what are the boys' names? How are they? And everything asked. And then he said, how did they like the gulab jamun? He asked. And this senior boy said, alas, I got lost in talking to them. I forgot to give them gulab jamun. So to this, the manager became very angry. He said, you see, simply you chanted with them. This fellow chanted 1 or 2 rounds with you. You gave them a Prabhupada's book. But Prabhupada started this movement with prasad. How can you not give prasad? I think you kept the gulab jamun for yourself. Like that is said. That's all. That senior boy got shattered completely. Because he didn't intend to keep it for himself. Basically, he just forgot. It just slipped through his mind. But there's one sentence he remembers even after 10 years now. He says, how can he ever think like this? I am so moderate in eating. Even if they give 1 extra gulab jamun, I will not touch it. Do you think I'll keep 20 gulab jamuns for myself? So therefore, we all can see in our life, we have to learn from the Lord, how do we deal with the different type of devotees. In the name of pleasing the visitors, we don't hurt the devotees. In the name of protecting the devotees, we don't displease the visitors. It's not a very easy thing. But the Lord is teaching us by his behavior. He has an ocean of such qualities. At least we can beg at his lotus feet, give us a drop of these good qualities. So now, in conclusion, I will tell you 2-3 examples from Srimad Bhagavatam where a superior acted with maturity. Because by learning that, we can also learn from a devotee how to act with maturity. Once upon a time, Diti, who was the wife of Kashyapa, she started dealing with her husband in a very respectful manner, in a very sweet manner. She spoke sweet words. She rendered a lot of service to him. She became completely submissive to him. And the husband became more and more pleased. I don't know how my wife has become so transformed these days. She never talks back and she never is arrogant. And she's cooking, cleaning, washing, serving me so wonderfully. Internally in his heart, he was becoming more and more and more and more pleased. So one day he told his wife, oh, my dear wife, you have accepted your husband as if I am God himself. This is the way a wife should serve the husband. I am pleased with you. Now you tell me, whatever you ask, I'll give you. Like that he said. Then she said, and now you come, now I'll ask you what I want. She said, I want a child, I want a son who can kill Indra, she said. And I was shocked. Really? You want a son to kill Indra? Why? She said, I had 2 sons, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. And both those sons were killed by whom? Hiranyaksha, Varahadeva, and Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Narasimha. But why did Lord come in those forms to kill my 2 sons? Because Indra prayed to Lord. Therefore, I am very, very upset with whom? With Lord or Indra? With Indra. Because she can't become upset with the Lord. Sometimes a disciple goes and complains to spiritual master. Some A disciple. And spiritual master calls the B disciple and says, hey, why are you doing like this? Don't do like this. And the spiritual master will go back after, because he doesn't come often. Once in a while he may come. Then the B becomes angry on Guru or angry on A. Because he knows very well, although chastisement was given by Guru, he can't be angry with Guru. He'll show anger on A only. Correct, no? That's what happened with her also. This guy went and complained to Lord Vishnu. Therefore, Vishnu came as Varaha Narasimha and killed my 2 sons. Therefore, I am not going to spare this fellow. He has to be finished. And for that, she wanted a son. Now when she explained this to Kashyapa, Kashyapa thought, alas, alas, I became carried away by her sweet speech. I should have been very careful. Now that I have given her a benediction, what can I do now? It is only due to my henpecked nature that I have become carried away by her behavior. Then he thought very deeply and he prayed, what can be done? Then he said to her, okay, I will give you one process called Pumsavana process. If you follow, this is actually a Vaishnava process. You follow this Pumsavana process, there are 40, 50 rules. If you follow all these rules, then you will get a son who can kill Indra. But if any of these rules you compromise, then you will not get such a son. You will not get a son who can kill Indra. Yeah, of course, you will get a child, but he will not be an enemy of Indra. He won't be able to kill. So she said, no, I'll be very, very careful. I will attentively fulfill all the conditions, she said. So if you read the procedure, you will find in the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's like you rise early in the morning, you have to bow down to Lord Vishnu, you have to go to the temple, you have to do many pujas and everything. So all that she was doing. Of course, at that time, Indra came to know somehow. I don't know how Indra got the news. Even today, I don't know. Who passed the news to him? I don't know. These kind of matters somehow pass. Indra got to know that my stepmother, Diti, is planning to create somebody to kill me. So he went to his aunt's house and said, oh, aunt, I heard you are pregnant now. You are elderly. And I have come to help you to bring firewood and everything from the forest. I have come to assist you. She said, thank you, my dear son, very kind of you. She didn't say that I'm creating a baby to kill you. She also accepted. So she was cheating him and he was cheating her. Both were cheating each other. You understand? No? His intention was to find out a chance to kill the child in the womb. And her intention was to kill Indra. And time was going on. One day she ate prasad, but she forgot to wash the mouth. It was evening time and the delivery was very nearby. She was a little feeling difficulty. So she lied down in the bed without washing the mouth. And Indra thought, this is the time. Now her mouth is unclean. Therefore, I can enter into her system and finish the child. With that idea, Indra has this mystic powers. He entered into her womb and he took his thunderbolt. Like that, he hit the womb. And immediately he heard the cries of children. Indra, don't kill us. We are not your enemies, they said. How can this guy say he's not my enemy? His mother is preparing this child only to kill me. That embryo became 7. But Indra was very suspicious. Again, he took the thunderbolt. Then 7 into 7, it became 49. They said, Indra, wait a minute. Don't be angry on us. Think about us. We are not your enemies. We are your friends, they said. In the meantime, she delivered all the 49 plus 1, 50 children. Who is that one? Indra also came out. And this lady was surprised. I am begetting my children. How are you coming from inside Indra? Indra was feeling ashamed to tell the truth. And also she noticed that they all became Maruds, devotees of the Lord. Why? Because the Pumsavana made them process actually like a Krishna conscious process. They all became devotees of Krishna. She became purified of her envy. So Indra told the truth to her. Mother, I'm sorry. I know that you are going to kill me. Therefore, before the child is born, I wanted to finish the child. So he also admitted, she also admitted. Both of them gave up their envy. And she told, anyway, these 49 boys have become Maruds, demigods. So you take them with you. So they all became Indra's association. Indra went away after that. You read that in Bhagavatam. But why I told you, here is Kashyapa in a very precarious position where his wife is asking for some child to kill Indra. Is it possible? Is it possible to kill? Is it pleasing to Vishnu? No. So he very smoothly, he escaped from this, like a very difficult situation by administering devotional service to her very intelligently. So you will find that when children are teenagers, many parents are worried about what to do with my son or daughter. They are very worried that they should not get carried away by the current of Maya all around. So the best way is to engage them in varieties of devotional service. Like I had gone yesterday, one gentleman was selling, he has sent his daughter for some Kathak or some Bharatanatyam, and also for Carnatic music, and for learning Sanskrit, and for, learning shloka classes, and, so many other in their own peer group of devotees. So the whole idea is what? One of the purposes of giving them engagement is to learn many nice things, which will be fruitful and beneficial for them and for others also. At the same time, it is to save them from their own mind and senses, isn't it? So Kashyapa was very intelligent. He could do what was needed. In the same manner, there are many other episodes in Bhagavatam. You will see that when you are put in a challenging situation, one should think and act. One should think and speak. And one should not act, one should not react to the situation without thinking twice. So we learn from the Lord himself how to deal with complex situations like that in Srimad Bhagavatam. So when we meditate on Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu's behavior, even Lord Krishna was once put in such a situation. Once Narada came and gave one flower to Krishna, one Parijata flower, which only grows once in 12 years. And Lord Krishna told Narada, see, I am in Dwaraka now. One side there is Satyabhama, one side there is Rukmini. Rukmini is a soft queen. Satyabhama is a strong-natured queen. We are giving only one flower. To whom do you want me to give it to? Narada said, that is your choice. How can I tell you? You should make the choice. So Lord Krishna thought Narada is very smart. He has pushed the problem to me now. So he looked at both the queens and he gave it to Rukmini. And then Satyabhama said, oh, that means Rukmini is your favorite, not me. Krishna told her, see Satyabhama, I am giving her only one flower, but I am going to give you one full Parijata tree. She said, oh, that's wonderful. She became happy also. So Lord knows how to balance situation. So in any situation, Krishna's dealings with his devotees are so nectarian. We can learn how like Bahulashva and Shrutadev, both of them invited Lord Krishna to come to their home. Shrutadev was very poor. Bahulashva was king. So whom to go? A king is calling in Mithila and a poor Shrutadev is calling. Lord Krishna expanded into two forms. He went to both the places. He pleased both of them. So we can see that the Lord adjusts the situations very expertly. One last point I will say and conclude the talk. You see, one Bhaumasura, Bhaumasura was born when Lord Varaha carried the earth in his tusk and saved the earth from getting drowned in the Garbhodak ocean and placed the earth in her position. So at that time, because the Lord Varaha touched the earth with his tusk, at that time, Bhudevi, she begot a boy whose name was Bhaumasura. So Bhaumasura is actually born to Varaha and Bhudevi. So that is Bhauma. But why Bhauma became Asura? He cultivated demoniac qualities. He didn't cultivate divine qualities. Later on, he became very, very atrocious. But Lord wanted to kill this Asura and save all the 16,000 princesses arrested in that jail. But Lord was having one concern. What was it? Do you know? That Bhudevi, she's an expansion of Satyabhama. So Satyabhama is also somewhat like mother of Bhaumasura in one sense. Prabhupada writes it in the purport. So if you kill Bhaumasura, she will take objection. So you know what Lord Krishna did? He told Satyabhama that I am going to get the Varuna's umbrella and Indra's mother Aditi's kundal from Pragjyotishpur, that is Bhaumasura's palace. And I'm going to go to heaven. Would you like to accompany me? He asked. She said, why not? Surely I'll come. Both of them sat in the Garuda and they flew to Pragjyotishpur. Of course, Bhaumasura's palace was electrified in all the walls. There was moat where man-eating crocodiles were there also in the waters around the palace. But Krishna didn't have to go through the door. He just flew up the Garuda directly. And he killed the Mura demon. Then when he wanted to kill Bhaumasura, he knew that Satyabhama will raise objection. You know what Krishna did? He allowed Bhaumasura to send volleys of arrows on himself. He just waited. And Satyabhama asked him, what are you doing? This fellow is sending you so many arrows. He's trying to kill you. You are keeping quiet. Krishna said, how can I kill? You may raise objection. She said, no, I am ordering you. Kill him now, she said. Then immediately Krishna finished Brahmasura. So you will see how intelligent Krishna is. He knows the complexity of a situation and he behaves in such a way that he adjusts the situation in such a way that nobody is displeased. So these kind of dealings, when you read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, behavior of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna, and the depth of his wisdom and depth of his bliss that he experiences, due to which he always acts in Vishuddha Sattva platform. Vishuddha Sattva platform is beyond the three gunas, goodness, passion, and ignorance. So Srila Prabhupada also, in all his purports, brings out such lessons like the ones we were discussing today. He says, Lord has an ocean of sublime qualities. We can only fall at his feet and beg him to give us a drop of his qualities so that we will be able to please Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Sorry, I exceeded the time. Prabhu, you would like to add? Please give the mic to. You have another mic? Yes, Prabhu.
Jai Vijay was doorkeepers for millions of years. And we just look at, like, for instance, you're going on to a military base, you have to have certain ID, there's certain procedure. What was the procedure for someone getting in? First of all, to get up to where the four Kumaras got, it's like, how can anybody get there? You know, and so what Jai Vijay was getting them? Just because they were young, that was the only reason?
Yeah.
What are their criteria for letting people in?
Yeah. So when the Kumaras, how could they get there? They were actually Brahma Jnanis, Brahman realized Jnanis. They were actually moving about in the Brahma Jyoti, the effulgence of the Lord. But at one time, Lord had a desire to experience a fighting joy. It's called a Virya Rasa, we call it, in the material world. Lord wanted to come and enjoy. So Lord had already desired in his heart that Jaya Vijay should go and they will become two demons and then I'll fight with them and we'll have the joy of fighting with them. So because of his will, the Kumaras were drawn to come towards the Vaikuntha. Another thing is said in the Bhagavatam, Brahmaji in the beginning when Kumaras were born, he explained to them about the Lord's personality. He also explained to them about the impersonal Brahman. So out of the two, they were at that time attracted to impersonal Brahman. Sometimes we see our students also. In Krishna consciousness, they are more jnani type, we call it. They are more intellectually oriented in the beginning. After some years, they develop the devotional attitude. So therefore, they were aware of the Lord's form to some degree, having heard from their father. Now they were actually drawn magnetically towards the entrance to Vaikuntha. And also when they came to the door of Vaikuntha, they were stopped by Jaya Vijay because Jaya Vijay were doubtful whether they can be allowed or not, because impersonal is not allowed into the spiritual world. So I was thinking what I would have done if I was there. I thought I would have given them some 4 chairs to sit. Please kindly sit here. I'm just coming in a moment. And then we just go and ask the Lord what I should do with these people. Should they be allowed in or not? The Lord says allow them, then allow. One disciple of Prabhupada, there was one disciple of Prabhupada that told that, see, I am writing, I'm going to be writing now. Don't let anybody come in, Prabhupada said. And he posted that disciple at the door. Anybody comes to meet me, stop them there. I want 3-4 hours at a stretch. So there was one god brother of Prabhupada who was very talkative and who would come and spend time with Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was sometimes trying to escape from him also, when he was in India before. Now that god brother came to the door entrance and he asked the disciple, I want to go in. What? And the disciple said, no, Prabhupada has told me especially not to let anyone in. He got upset. He just pushed the door and came in. And then he peeped in. And then when Prabhupada's eyes met with him, his eyes, and Prabhupada said, oh, welcome, please come. And he made him sit like this and offered obeisances to him and I talked to him. And then he complained to Prabhupada that your servant did like this. He's not letting me in. Does he not know who am I? Like that. And Prabhupada also scolded the servant. Huh? Hey, you don't know who this is? How did you not allow? And after he went, Prabhupada said, actually, you did your part of stopping him. You are not wrong. But because he is my God brother, I didn't want to see him displeased. Therefore, I scolded you. Don't take it seriously. Like that he told him. So, of course, the disciple could have told him that, please wait here. I will just check with Prabhupada. He could have told like that. You can check. So, Jai Vijay also, after this whole episode was over, they did one thing which I didn't tell you. When Kumaras cursed them to go to material world for 3 lifetimes, Jai Vijay immediately fell at their feet and they cried loudly. So Kumaras thought that they are upset with the curse. But they told Kumaras that we are ready to go to material world for 3 lifetimes. We don't mind it, but please bless us that even for a moment we will not forget the lotus feet of our master, Lord Vishnu. When they heard it, immediately their heart melted. They thought that we have committed a big blunder. These are not proud people or angry people. These are very humble Vaishnavas. They felt like that. So when later on Kumaras went away, then Jai Vijay asked the Lord, how did it happen to us? Today, we have never committed such a mistake. Then the Lord smiled and said, it is my will that you should go to material world, because in the spiritual world, nobody will fight with him. At the most, somebody may take a lotus and throw at him, that's all. Nobody can take weapons and fight with him. But Lord wants to enjoy the stunt. So Prabhupada writes in Teachings of Queen Kunti that sometimes a king appoints a wrestler and he wrestles with him and all the queens are clapping hands, they're laughing because the wrestler is not an enemy. Wrestler is a paid fellow. So king enjoys, queens enjoy, ministers enjoy. It's like that. Lord also fights with his devotees when he comes to the world. And they are on the other side, like Bhishma was on the other side, Krishna was on this side. Lord wanted their enjoyment. So, and the Lord also told them one more thing. You people already had one curse due from Lakshmi also. That is coming in Vishnu Purana. Lord told them that once Lakshmi came to the Vaikuntha from outside, so the Jai Vijay was not, they were not allowing her also. She said, hey, how can you stop me? She said, no, the Swami is resting now. You should not disturb. She said, who's Swami? He is my master or your master? She asked. They said, our master. She said, let us go inside. Let us check with him. So when they both went, she was in an angry mood. So Lakshmi was on this side, Jai Vijay was on this side. So Lakshmi asked the Lord, you are whose master? You are my master or their master? And Lord was in a very difficult situation. Dharma Sankatam, we call it. Dharma Sankatam means sometimes damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's like that. So Lord thought that if I tell her, I am your master, then they will get upset. They will be disheartened. If I tell her that I am their master, then she will become upset and she will go to another place and Lord has to then cajole her. So Lord thought what to do? Lord just didn't do anything. He just smiled. In his smile, both the parties forgot the question only. So in this way, in the Vishnu Purana, it is said that at that time when she was about to come and meet the Lord, that time she had told these fellows that you go to material world. She had told them. Lord said, that is also pending in your account, so you go, like that Lord said. It's a very beautiful pastime. In that also, there is one more finer addition. Lord asked them, would you like to go to material world as my devotee for 7 lifetimes or as demons for 3 lifetimes? So initially they thought, why 7 lifetimes? You can even go for 7 million lifetimes as devotees, because devotee life in this world and that world is not much different. You are chanting the holy name, dancing, taking prasad with devotees, everything. But later they understood Lord's desire is to fight with somebody and enjoy the pleasure of fighting. So they preferred to be 3 lifetimes demons. So they told the Lord, my dear Lord, you make us forgetful of you and make us demoniac and take the weapons and fight with you in order for us to be able to give you pleasure. And if that would make you happy, that will make our life successful. But make sure you always keep us at your lotus feet. This is the way they prayed actually. Very advanced devotees, yeah. Thank you. You can add, you can say better answers than. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. There's one hand up. Should you take that question? Yes. Okay, one last, quick. I can hear you well, yeah.
So, every day when it came to Medley, for 3 lines.
Yeah,
What happened in between? They came to different yogas.
correct.
First question is what will happen in the future? Like,
One thing is whatever is there in the scripture, we speak only that much. We don't speak anything outside that. For example, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, then Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Shishupal, Dandavakra. In different yugas they are coming. So, for example, when Shishupal was killed, by the Lord by the chakra, so you find that light going and merging in the Lord. So Lord keeps them in a dormant state between the one form and the another form. And then when that dormant, when that period is over, again they will take the next avatar. All right? Shri Prabhupada ki, Granthar Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you. Can give it to my assistant.
तो यार